And then he was saying to me, "No toxado pants, no toxado pants." And I was, "Could you say that again, please?" And he was pointing to the paper saying, "No toxado pants." Then I flipped it to me, and I was reading the paper. He was pointing to tuxedo pants.
Yeah.
Oh, so no tuxedo pants would be no tuxedo pants. So he didn't have the tuxedo pants I needed.
Oh, okay.
So I needed to wait for the next cruise so they would have my size.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
you get in touch with these different accents. Of course, it's not a native accent, but it's still useful, very useful.
Oh, yes, it is. Yeah. I also had no, please go ahead.
Yeah, because of these, this was just in one situation, but that wasn't definitely not the hardest one to understand. I guess I mentioned to you once, my friend from Scotland, from the countryside of Scotland, really small town. He spoke English in such a way that everyone they were all confused about what he was saying, but it was his accent, his native accent.
Yeah.
Couldn't say anything about that. That was English officially. Yeah.
Officially, yeah.
But
and sometimes I see those videos on YouTube of Scottish people speaking, and it feels like they mix with their, I don't know, some other language, and you're like, I don't understand like anything that they're saying at all. Sometimes a few words here and there, but not the whole thing. Yeah.
Yes, it's tough.
But I also had a similar experience with different accents when I was in the US. The very first time, the very first weeks, now the very first month, we were all international students, and we had to take this course, this English course, to just improve before taking the actual classes for our majors.
Okay.
And we were at the dorms in summer, and I remember meeting people from Egypt, Ghana, South Africa, from various countries in Latin America, and also the other countries like the Middle East too.
Okay.
And it's like I already had that experience in the airplane with the lady trying to talk to me about the emergency exit. And I would go there and hear all those accents. I'm like, man, I'm lost here. I don't know what I'm doing. But of course, I mean, not everybody spoke fluent English, and most people had their struggles because obviously everybody was there for the immersion course, okay? And we felt like we were on the same boat, and everybody would speak a little bit slower, and like little by little, we would get used to each other's accents. And as you said, that you were able to recognize where people were from, I also acquired, I think, that at least regarding those specific nationalities. And it was amazing. It was very good to just improve my listening skills, my speaking skills, and most importantly, the culture aspect of it, getting in contact and learning about their cultures, their stories. Some people, sometimes they would cook their own food with whatever they could find in the US. Of course, they couldn't find the same ingredients, but they would try to make things, dishes very similarly as to how they would do at home, And I mean, it was just an amazing experience. So you often recommend people to go work on a cruise ship, and I'm always telling people, especially if they're young, like go do study abroad, do an exchange program, because you're gonna gain so much from it.